Test, 1, 2, 3. It is Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. I got a lot to talk about like I always do, but I gotta show you guys something. Matt Ritchie got his decal from Deviant. Thank you so much, Deviant, for getting those sent out to the guys. And as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get to the intro. We're gonna talk about gold letter specs, my purchases that just didn't happen to come today, but you know what? I'm going to have a lot to talk about on Monday and Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. But otherwise, kick back for the intro. I'll see you guys in a second. You know what? Just because I'm feeling it, let's throw on the 100th intro. That thing was an awesome intro. Let's do it. What's going on, everyone? Going live for the first time on my channel. Just finished up the Rolling Thunder podcast. What's up, Bobby B? What's going on? Andy, why kicker? Well, man, kicker, why kicker? That's a good question. Hit that like button. Yeah, thanks, 25, bro.
Whoa. Let's China. One more time. Tell him! Cornut came in at the caboose. I had fun. This was just going to be a little test, but hey, we'll definitely do this more often. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. Love you, Mom. Thank you for tuning in. William, hey.
Thank you for tuning in, William. Appreciate everyone that is here tonight. We're going to have an awesome show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. Man, I don't know how I do these shows. It gets a little crazy, but when the time comes, like Kenny Pickett coming in clutch, William, hey, living loud with Andy, late Friday for the win. You're a rock star. Keep doing what you do. Thank you for always being dedicated to the show, man, and being a true bass head and one of the fellow friends of ours. Thank you so much, bro, and thank you for all that you do. Appreciate you. RGA, I was going to call you in between shows. When you gave me a call, we just finished dinner, watching Breaking Bad. I know, we're like 10, 12 years behind on that. But either way, I'll give you a call after the show, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I seen that your comment earlier on the Rolling Thunder. You just got done with that with Scott. And we had Joe on there, so it was a good show. Strange request, can I get some folks to pray for my buddy? Nobody. He lost his dad at 7:14 p.m. tonight. Please and thank you. I know nobody from your streams. And, man, prayers can't do enough, man, but they can help. And I pray for him and his family. And, man, thank you for being a friend to him. And these times that you cannot describe to anybody else, man, losing someone that's close to you. And my thoughts go out to him and his family. Thank you for tuning in, RJ. Yeah, hit the like, man. You guys killed it on Kicking It with Andy. I think we had, man, 61, 62 likes. That was pretty intense, but we had an awesome show. So, I mean, it's going to get the likes. But either way, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I've been working on a lot of things on the back burner. Patreon's seen it. I'm trying to get the audio and video to work with the limited amount of internet that I got, so I'm trying to mess with input and output buffer settings. Man, it's like learning Chinese. Not not fun, but I'm learning a lot about sample rates and everything else, man. I'm learning something, and I love learning. I love learning things, and that's why I dove deep into this car audio stuff, man, and fish tanks too. Cornut, thank you for tuning in. Comp Gold 12s will be here Monday. I have no need for him, but that's okay. Giving back to Kicker for giving to us. There goes Cookie Monster. I'm surprised. Oh, is it John K? Did he just join the chat? Last time he said something, man. Cookie went flying. It's the new fish tank. Anyway, I know mine aren't coming till Monday either. FedEx told me they were coming today at Friday, and I'm like, I don't know. It's saying Ohio. They'll be here Monday, but either way, man, we'll have a lot of stuff to unbox on Monday. It's going to be a good Monday for us. And, right, same here, but, I mean, at the same time, I do have to show content to you guys. That's what I do here. But at the end of the day, did I need 212s? No, I really didn't need 212s or 10 or 15, but it's going to be exciting and absolutely giving back to them for what they do, man. It's the little things. Appreciate you, man. Let me scroll on here. Kevin, thank you for tuning in, the hardest working man in bass live streaming. Thank you, man. I know it's cool seeing other people do the live stream stuff too, and I'm happy to help. And you're doing good, man. You really are. And it takes time. And I've been doing this for a little while and had a lot of help along the way. So I'm happy to help you. And thank you, man. I appreciate that compliment so much. Thanks for tuning in, too, by the way. We got 35 people in here tonight. Man, that is nice for a Friday. Appreciate you guys. How's everyone doing? I got some things to show you guys about the gold letter, so we're going to get to that. We got the tile small parameters, the specs. If you got any questions, we'll go over it. Tim, any update on Solo X as of today? No update for the Solo X yet. Hopefully soon. They've been saying Q1. I'm thinking February, March, estimately, honestly, time frame, but things can change. We'll see. If I hear anything, you will know first on this channel and Kicker. I've been taking a little bit of the steam from them, at least with the gold letters. I'm like, oh yeah, we got the gold letters, go get them, bada bada bing, bada boom. But that's kind of what I do. So you will hear it here too. So I'll let you know. Make sure you hit the notification bell and hit all. Because trust me, I've subscribed to people and I'm like, man, why do I not see that content anymore? And you got to hit personalize and you have to see them all. Otherwise, your phone's not going to notify you. Phil Blusher, thank you for tuning in. Colby, thank you for tuning in as well, dude. Appreciate you guys. Bobby B, I got something today from Down for Sound. Speaking of which, let's see if I can pull that up. Bobby B did get a few things. Let's see if I can do that on my fancy little thing over here. There we go. Can we zoom in on that? No, it's not going to do that for me, is it? Okay, no problem. We're just going to save these photos. Give me 1 second here, guys. I got this new little thing with the HDMI, and it works, and it's Bluetooth, and it's fancy. But there's just some limitations on it, and that's fine. But it's pretty cool. I can do everything literally on my phone, and you guys get to see it on the ATM switcher. So it's pretty fancy that it does that. Here, you don't need to see. Well, I mean, yeah. Hi, how you doing? Of course, he got the sucker from Down for Sound. I love those suckers and the candy that they throw in there, man. It's the little things. He's got the JP95. Would you just look at it? That thing is awesome. 5-channel amplifier. Shows everything on the back there. Let's see here. Zoom in. What is it? 120 watts by 4, 200 by 4, and also 4 or 700 on the 4-channel. That's pretty impressive. Thank you for sending me that, Bobby. And, you know, that's why I wanted this little thing, so I can throw things up that are on my phone that's not on my computer. And Bobby's always sharing stuff with me, man. I appreciate you, dude. You better buy that other amphitheater on Goodwill. I seen someone outbidded you. Bob, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you guys. You know, I feel like this channel, this live stream, not even the channel, the live stream is growing, and it's awesome. It really is. Yeah, Kevin is always on those videos, always putting them out, man. Dedicated. Ivan, thank you for tuning in. Car audio where you buy what you don't need, and I'm one of them. Hey, you never know when you're going to need it, man. You never know. Explicit audio, happy Friday. Thank you for tuning in, man. You know, I was actually going to go over a few things, but I don't think I have it downloaded on my computer. I have an application of the Ultimate Car Audio app on here, but I don't have it loaded up. I was going to do that, but I didn't want to overwork myself. But with the tile small parameters of the gold letters, and of course using your app. And appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, dude. Appreciate you. I got notifications on and all. Awesome, man. Yeah, you're going to hear pretty fast. I won't release anything before public knowledge. I'll tell you that, because NDA, it's a thing, and respect. But you will know. Man, Ian Rappaport or whatever NFL analyst you want to talk about. Yeah, I try to do that kind of stuff to give you guys updates. You know, not everybody has Facebook, and not everyone sees the posts. But if you follow me, you're going to find out first. Well, at least first or second, depending. I'm sure with the L7X, they're going to be a little bit louder. They're going to turn the gain up a little bit more when that's released. Just saying. Philip, the candy is nice until you get some Sour Patch Kids that are 6 months expired and rock hard. Send a message with no response. You know what? I got you, Phil. Next time I see you, I will give you Sour Patch Kids. You know, I bet that might happen just because, you know, that goes in every package. And one might get thrown away. And, oh, we can still use that. Throw it in there. You know, it happens, man. Quality control, right? Thank you, Bob. Keep putting in the work. We'll keep watching, man. You know, it's always feeling like I'm trying to upgrade, do something more, and, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it. And I kind of go nuts whenever I don't have anything new to talk about or anything new, like, you know, tech-wise or amp dyno-wise. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? So it keeps me driven, man. And as long as you guys keep watching, that's all that matters. Blake says that he just subbed to Kevin. How are you not subbed to Kevin? Come on, man. Well, now you are. Go check him out. Bass with Kev. Kibo. Just remember us little people when you make it big, Andy. Hey, 3K, I was supposed to be gone, and I'm still here. If that ain't saying something, I don't know what is. Never, man. You know, that's one thing about me is I never forget where I came from. Brian Townsend, thank you for tuning in. Evening, y'all. Appreciate you, man. Audio Anonymous. Sup, peeps? Thank you, buddy. All right, let's see. Let me scroll down here a little bit more, and then we're going to start talking about some gold letter goodness. Deviant has arrived. You're late. but I did throw it up in the beginning of the show, but a lot of you guys probably missed it. But you'll see it on repeat either way. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Matt Ritchie made a post on Facebook and Team SP Loud. Got the decals. I see how you snuck the 14.4 talk one in there, but that's awesome, man. Deviant, thank you for sending those out. RGA, I still need your address. I think he's the only one that we have to take care of, unless Deviant got that situated. I don't know. Either way, thank you, Deviant, for giving those away last Friday. Wanted to give you guys an update, and perfect time to do so. So thank you, Deviant. Appreciate you, man. Awesome, awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Kevin Charles, hit the like button, man. You guys are killing it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. I really do. Last time it was 60. I was like, damn. Okay, so everyone that was watching liked it. That's 1 for 1. That's 100%. I will take it. It don't get better than that, man. All right, caught up on the comments. Let's get to the tile small parameters of the gold letter kickers. Now, this is for the 10, 12, 15, obviously. And you can see the RMS ranges. That's one thing that I like that they do once in a while. Or if you look more into it, you will see the RMS ranges rather than just, oh, it's 500 RMS or 800. It gives you a realistic range of how much power that this woofer is going to want. And, you know, a range. A range is good. So obviously 200 to 400 for the 10, 250 to 500, and 400 to 800 respectively. Peak power, don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Now, the one thing I did want to see was the FS. The FS is kind of important. Now, a 10 isn't going to have a very low FS, so 41 is pretty normal, and that's a very well-balanced 10-inch. Now, there's more there's more to a woofer than just a resonant frequency, but it gives you an understanding of how it's going to work. And 37 and 33. I know it's not entirely low, but to have a well-balanced driver, if you have an FS that's really low, I feel like it's going to skew one way more than the other. But back to wherever we were talking with Kicking with Andy this Tuesday about the X-Max. Look at the X-Max rate. Lost my mouse. 17.5 millimeters on each one. I think that's as much as the L7, or at least, you know, something similar. The higher end stuff, and almost 3 times the amount of the original gold letter. So this thing's gonna be moving some air, and like I said, I gotta turn my heat off. I got heat going, AC going, you know, it's a Pennsylvania thing. You're gonna have some trade-offs, but I feel like, you know, this is gonna sound really good. It's gonna work in a lot of enclosures, and that's kind of the point. Outer diameter, stuff like that, frequency response, basic stuff here. Pretty crazy, it goes up to 500 hertz, but either way. Let me scroll down here. I know there's more to it. Maybe they don't have everything exactly on there with TS specs like the MMS and all the other stuff, but they do have a lot of the information on there and enclosure specs and sizes of what it needs. So let me scroll down here, and that's where I kind of like it more than just what the website says. Where it tells you, okay, minimum sealed, you know, 0.8, a cube, or 1.8. 1 cube for a 12 and sealed is very small. And that works. And it tells you the power handling, and sometimes they vary depending on the enclosure of what they tell you. And let's see here. And then max sealed. You know, you got double, and then, yeah, about double all around, give or take. And, I mean, that's pretty cool. And then you go down more, and then we'll have the ported. Let me keep scrolling. Vented enclosures. Now, this is where I like it, where they actually give you more information. 1.25 cubes, and then it tells you the port opening, 2x10. You know, and gives you an idea of what kind of box to build for this. Now, obviously, port dimensions and airspace correlate with one another, and they're going to change by how much it's off compared to the other one. Lots of variables, man. But Minimum is 1, 1.75, and 3, and then max is 1.75, 2.25, and 5. And this 15 here, it takes 5 cubes, right? Max, and a 3 by 15 inch port, which is like 45 square inches. And my old Cookie Monster box just happens to be those parameters, the one that used to fit into the trunk of the hatchback of the Eclipse. So I might rebaffle that, but I don't know. We'll see. I planned for 212s, but I mean, why not? We have options. Appreciate you tuning in, DIY. Thank you, guys. We got Stu up in here. What is up, Stu? What is coil diameter? I don't know. I'm gonna say 2.56. I don't know. I wish they would say a little bit more in here. With like the moving mass, the QMS, and the, QES, but mostly the QMS. That's what I'm really looking for, because that really tells you, kind of what works better in, what type of enclosure. But obviously there's 5 million variables that actually constitute to what that means, and we try to keep it simple. We got a super chat from Deviant for Life, $5 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Show the pic of your great-great-great-great-grandpa hanging with the original Deviant, aka my great-great-grandpa. I guess I could do that one. That was pretty funny. It came up in my memories, and I'm like, dude, that's literally me with Deviant. Can you see the resemblance? It's my dad's great-grandfather? Grandfather, one of the two. I think, yeah, grandfather? I don't know. This is like 1888, this picture. And if you knew what I looked like when I was about 20, it's pretty darn close. And then you can see Deviant right there. So, it's pretty awesome. Thank you, Deviant. Appreciate you. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much, man. Oh, man. Yes, Deviant is the horse. I mean, that's of what we know. That's what we know. See, we've been down for generations. That's it. That's it. Appreciate you, man. All right, let's see, we got any same motor? Then maybe. Can't really tell by RMS, right. I feel like there are some small differences between the motors and just how they design woofers and stuff, but I don't think it's going to be maybe different size coil on the 15. I think there's going to be a lot more differences of the 15 compared to the 10 and 12. Maybe the 10 and 12 share more of the similarities other than the basket and obviously like spider landing and cone, but we'll get more into that, especially whenever I have them in my hands. I'm getting them Monday, so I might do a video and you might see it before Tuesday. I would like to do that, or at least have it uploaded by Tuesday, of the 10, the 12, and the 15, and I'll try to go everything I can, but there's only so much you can do. But honestly, it's probably a 2.5 inch coil, maybe less. I wouldn't say more. And between maybe a 2 inch on the 10. I don't know. And maybe that's why they don't have an 8, because when you go even smaller down the spectrum, you got to build entirely something else, because you can't fit a 2 inch coil on an 8 inch sub. Like you can, but then there's a lot of factors where, okay, I got so much coil, I only have this much spider. And, there's trade-offs with everything. So we'll keep you informed. Appreciate you tuning in. We got SJC up in the house. 0.8 for a 10 is nice. 1 cubic feet for a 12 is small. Right, I wouldn't go with the minimum recommended specs, but you can. And that's with the whole Solo Barrack technology of how they've always designed their drivers as of, since the Solo Barrack. But, it's still going to work good. I threw the 12L7 that works in 0.88 cubic feet in 0.88 cubic feet. And yeah, it took a lot of power. It was pretty peaky, but it still got down to like 38 hertz, 39. And it was tuned to like 55 because of the enclosure, the FS. It was very small enclosure and it needed some power to really get loud. And I did a 49 on 212s, but took 4,000 watts. I wouldn't recommend it. It didn't sound the best. Maybe on a few songs it really killed it. And that's where you kind of want to go in the middle of things. You don't want to go to the max spec. You don't want to go to the min spec unless you're trying to get something in particular. If you go in the middle of the road, you're going to be happy. And if you want more, then you're like, okay, well, I want a little bit better low end extension, build bigger. And it's easiest with the sealed boxes because that's one variable. When you got ported, you got 2 or 3 variables, really. And there's just a lot, a lot more to it. And box sizes and everything. And it gets complicated. With the sealed boxes, though, you can learn how enclosure specs, airspace makes a difference. Don't need no apps or, brain for that. Just know how to cut wood. Chris Felix, thank you for tuning in. Have you bumped the Kicker ST on video? Yes, I did. I did it on a live. I did it on a video, on 2 videos on shorts. If you check out my shorts, it should be on there. But yeah, dude, I actually purchased from Crutchfield. This is just trying to rig things without doing doors. I bought another set of speaker dash, so you can upgrade your door speakers, because certain cars are like that. The whole mount that they give you, the speaker's all one piece. So with the Pilot, a lot of Hondas, you got to buy it all. Start off fresh. Otherwise, what's it called? Self-tapping screws in the metal, and that's not good. Or, a bunch of fabrication. So you buy the install speaker dash kit, whatever, speaker kit. So I bought that, and I'm like, man, I'm going to buy one without having to take my door apart and do all this. I'm just going to buy one and see if I can drop the 7-inch in there and do a little bit of chiseling with my multi-tool to see if it fits in there flush and if it sounds okay. And if it does, then I'm going to throw this in my front doors and maybe buy another pair of 7s for the Eclipse or whatever I want to. But actually be able to use those in one of my builds now without having to do doors. We'll see. And the only reason why I think it might work is because my Pilot actually takes 6.75-inch speakers, 6 3/4, not 6.5 or 5.5 or 5 1/4, whatever. So it's got a pretty big opening for the speaker, and I'm like, well, the magnet should fit through there. Let's try the top piece first, and then we'll go from there. So maybe we'll see. I don't know. With the ST speakers being square, it makes it a little bit harder. So either way, but I've always wanted that, so I am not complaining. I am not complaining. Just frustrated with getting them in there because I want to get them in there for a real demo, not no free air stuff. X-Max is 17.5 STI Stu. I was like, what kind of Subaru is that? Yes, it's got a lot of excursion for what it is. I could maybe look on, I don't want to bore you guys to death, but I could look on their website and put it up against a, I don't even know, maybe a CVX. Quote the SPL driver of theirs and see what they got of X-Max. And they're 17.5 for all. So let's just go to the 15 here. And for the CVX, go down the manual. The manual shows for everything. See, okay, TS parameters. See, that might be a little bit different. But we can go into that. I don't know. Let's see. Where's X-Max? Did they even put it in here? 19.25. So only 2 millimeters less down here. 19.25. 2 millimeters less than the CVX. And obviously power handling, sensitivity, and that's for the 15. That's the 15 right there. So let me go and look at the 12 or something, see if the 12 has any glaring differences. But I don't think it's going to be a huge difference, but maybe it is. Let me go down here, TS parameters, bada bing, bada boom. 16.25, it has less. Oop. Yeah, I totally meant to do that. It has more X-Max than the 12 CVX. That ain't saying something. I don't know what is. I mean, and people are trying to compare this thing. Oh, it's the same thing as a Comp R. I mean, you can't just look at a speaker by its excursion. You just can't. But, and people are complaining about the ribs. But, there you go. There you go. I can look at the Comp R, just to make you guys happy. I know a lot of people have been comparing the Comp R to it. Comp R, VR, there's a few different ones, but let's see here. Yeah, right here, one right below it, the Comp R. Scrolling down. Now, let's see, we'll just go to the 15. We'll go to the biggest one they got. How much excursion does this guy got? Going down 14.5. Less. This gold letter is definitely going to be better. Definitely going to be better than the Comp R and comparable to a CVX. Maybe a little less power handling. Maybe. Just a little bit. Beefcake. I believe kicker rates X Max one way X Max 19 millimeters 2-way X Max is pretty weak. No, it's one way. I know. I hate when, like, what was it, Rockville? I think they measured it 2 ways, so it was like, oh yeah, it's got 30 millimeters excursion, and everyone's like throwing out their checkbooks, and meanwhile it's only 15 because they're measuring both ways. But you can't even really go off that. Yes, there is, you know, yeah, the speaker goes out further, it's moving more air. But the real way they measure it is just with like coil gap distance between the top plate and all this other stuff, you know, and it's just a measurement rather than, you know, then there's BL, you know, how much of the coil is actually being like used efficiently the most in layman's terms with being inside of the motor, you know, of the electrical magnetic field. And there's a lot of variables, but either way, you can compare apples to apples with the kicker's specs. So, okay, this got more than that and less than that. Okay, cool. So it's just, yeah, rib for a magical time. Or more SPL. See, Colby ain't complaining about the ribs. Happy wife, happy life. Absolutely, dude. What 8K amp has the best efficiency at 1 ohm? Anything full bridge, man. And then a quality amp. Man, I don't know. You know, I was talking about that with Scott because he was saying that, you know, he's like, oh yeah, when I switched these amps, and I'm like, yeah, you went from a different topology and you went from half bridge to full bridge. You're going to gain efficiency pretty much no matter what, just because you're changing different types of beasts. It's like, oh man, I'm saving so much gas because I went from my V10 to my 4-banger, you know, that's why. And it's just something that's more efficient or whatever, or my V6 turbo. Right. Same power, but more efficient. And just, it's just how it goes. So it all depends, man. It really does. But I would go with a full bridge, but then I would kind of steer clear from Terra amps unless you really know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, run Terra amps. They're cheap. You blow it, buy another one. No biggie. A lot of times you pay for a lot of things because of the warranty that's behind it. You blow it up, you can return it, get another one, no questions asked, to a point. BL equals motor force, IE equals how strong motor is. And there's so much to this stuff, man, and it's just, you know, I try to go down that rabbit hole and learn, and then I do these shows, and it's hard to not talk about things, but it's like, listen, there is so much to this stuff. But here's the simple way. Let's try to compare woofers. And I hate comparing woofers. I love, you know, videos of just subwoofer comparisons. Parker does a great job, but it's like there is no real comparison. You can't compare. I saw this girl on TikTok. I don't know. She does all these funny things or whatever. I don't know. She's like sponsored by TikTok now. But she did this thing, and it was like with batteries. And like, oh yeah, this battery is the best because blah, blah, blah. It lasted so long. It's like, listen, there's different batteries for different types of scenarios. Like, is this one for like high amp draw, or is this one for a long, you know, capacitance? And it goes with everything that we do. And there's just it's so hard to compare anything. The more you know, the less you want to compare. But to the average person, what you should buy, you got to dumb it down to a point where, okay, maybe you should run this instead of this. And don't waste your money on that. Grab this instead. Lettuce. RGA X-Max being measured full versus one way is like adding 3. You know, you don't measure from the back. Oh man, doing it wrong this whole time. Bacon or, oh come on, you got bacon and lettuce sandwich. I mean, I feel like there's something missing. Oh, 25 is a casting couch too. Okay, so we're getting some more details. More details. Very good, very good. You know I'm writing these down, right? 25. We're gonna find you. Yes, rib for the casting couch. SJC, more efficient. It can use smaller amps for the masses. Right, and you know, that's what's crazy about just technology, man. It's come so far. Like, we have these amplifiers are yay big, and they're doing 500 to 1,000 watts, and it's like, what? Back in the day, you know, you see Derek and all the guys sharing these big, massive amplifiers that are the size of your back seat to do 500 watts or maybe more. You know, it's insane. It really is. I keep getting these Google notifications from like the internet, and I'm afraid to turn the notifications off because then I don't want to lose my super chats. Because I'm like, I'm, you know, everything's working great like it should, like it was supposed to, and I just don't want to break anything. Imagine a woman with lithium. I mean, I feel Kayla would be pretty safe with lithium, man. She knows enough. She knows enough not to get herself in trouble. All right, let me see if there's anything else that I can talk about. We always hit this like bald spot in the road, you know. About 35 minutes, 40 minutes in, give or take. I'm trying to think. I know I was really banking on getting all the kicker stuff. Like literally, let me pull it up here. It was telling me all day that there we go. It was telling me all day that it was going to be here on Friday. Let's see, this one right here. See, now it says pending, and now they say Monday. One was saying Monday, and I'm like, but these other ones are saying Friday, and it never came. I'm like, man, I give up. I just got to make the thumbnail, do it, because I didn't want to make the thumbnail until I figured out what I was going to do. And yeah, so that's that. Monday it is. And I got more stuff with it. Those CX 1800 amps. I'm going to try to make the quad box louder as a daily. You know, I've already wired that quad box down to 0.5 ohm per amp. They're dual 2 coming out the back at 0.5 ohm each instead. And that's how I got the 50. I got a 50 point. I'm moving around too much. 50.4. Here, you can just sit here with me, huh? There we go. 50.4, and it worked, but I had to really roll into it easily just because the amps can only put out so much amperage through the rail, or however that works. You got your voltage, you got your amperage. It's only so much amperage, and then it just shuts off. It doesn't protect. Well, I tricked it by going into it real soft and smooth, and I got 2 more amps just to get another like 400 watts, and was able to break the 50. But I want to do it on the CX 1846s, which are the 1 ohm stable. I have the 2 ohm stable. So once I do that, it should theoretically play it. And, you know, it might, the box rise, the impedance curve on the quad box is pretty high. Say you're wired at 1 ohm, you're seeing like 1.5 at the lowest, you know, multiplied. So you're like, what? 1.5 ohms, 2 ohms, being wired at 1, and then just up from there. And, you know, depending what your kind of music you're playing, yeah, you could set subsonic, but honestly, just play songs that work for your system. And you'll never have a problem with wiring your amp down as long as you do have electrical to keep up with it, and it's a quality amp. You know, it just comes down to heat. It's going to kill it, or the safety features aren't going to stop it because you're a dummy and you played it too hard at too low of an impedance. Not knowing your actual impedance curve, and that's what happens. Why people say, oh, don't wire low. You absolutely can. You just got to know what you can play and with what enclosure you got. So I feel like it should work, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, because now Kayla's got 2 amps for her car. Win-win. And try to get the quad box a little bit louder, and having that more power on tap, I won't have to clip as much. You know what I mean? Just because I'm going to have more headroom. I'm going to have more amplifier there, you know? Obviously, I start pulling more, my electrical is going to drop just the same, if not more. But because I'm wire lower, I'm not hitting that clip part of the amp as much. But then there's, you know, eventually my voltage keeps dropping even more, and my amp's not going to be able to do much more after that. So then I'll still hit the clip earlier than I should, rather than having the voltage at 14.4 or what have you. Because I noticed, you know, even with other than the KXA amp, the CX line, the DX line, they do more at 14. And when you get down to the 12s, they don't do quite rated. But that's okay. They'll do it uncertified and clipping. No, they'll give it to you. But uncertified or certified, they just won't. They need to be at 14. But the KXA amps will because they are loosely regulated. I wouldn't even say that per se. It's just they start pulling more current when the voltage drops so that the power remains the same, but then it's just diminishing returns. And then, you know, your your batteries are dying quicker because there's more current being pulled, and then your voltage is going down even more, and then there's more current being pulled so that the amp makes that power. So it'll always do the power, but then your electrical is kind of getting killed to do so, rather than just giving you less power, what most amps just do. They just give you less power. And I don't know, I like it, you know, just so that you get the power, but then when you upgrade your electrical, you go in there thinking, I'm gonna be getting more power out of this KXA 2400. Whack. You get like 200 more watts, if that, you know, and you could be dropping at 12 volts, and then now you're not dropping at all, and you barely see a difference. And it's just because of the type of amplifier it is. The badge of honor, yes, wasted keystrokes. SJC, remember when 3 subs was a thing? 6 ohm sub like unicorns these days. I know, and you know, JL Audio was on a thing, at least at one point. How they have the 3 ohm single voice coil subs, or dual. And you know, just so you can get that 1 ohm load by running 3. You absolutely could. Right. It's crazy, you know. Back in the day, yeah, you'd see 3 10s or 3 12s. I had 2 10s and a 12, you know, because 3 was so much cooler than 2 or 4. 4 didn't fit really well. That's the real win. The real reason. SJC 14.4 volt for the win. Hope you're doing good, SJC. I did reply back to you today. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It's just, like I was saying, with the SPL lab fighting with this ATM Mini over here. It's just, it didn't like it. And it works because I can use the traditional StreamYard screen share, and it'll work for the amp dynos. And I'll work with it. I'll work with it. It's okay. Oh, man, I appreciate you guys all tuning in. We got David from Kicker. Thank you for tuning in. Hello from Thailand. Hope you and your wife are doing well. Thank you for tuning in. How about that shortage of Kicker key amps? Ooh, I didn't even know that that was a shortage of a thing. I mean, anything with chips nowadays can definitely be a problem, man. That's the hardest thing with all this, you know, of putting out these products that are all electronics, between chips and the economy. It self-imploded, and now we're just recovering, licking our wounds, and then coming out with all these brand new products that Kicker's doing. And, you know, doing that and then trying to keep your old products that are already there, you know, and keep getting their parts for their products, for that, you know, their parts for that amp. And it just, I feel like eventually we'll get back to normal, but it's just going to be a matter of time. It's going to be a matter of time. Didn't hear from me, but there's some cool key stuff coming down the road. They love their key technology, and so do I. I want to get another key lock. I'm probably going to eliminate my key 200.4. Lee Nicholson, thank you for tuning in. Good day from Melbourne, Australia. If I run 2 positive and ground 0 gauge to the battery, do I run 2 ground 0 gauge to the body or chassis? Very good question. Thank you for tuning in. Yes. And what I would, because your power is only as good as your ground. Yes, the current is flowing through the power, but how electrodes work, it's really backwards from the ground, but we're not going to get into that. Say you got a 0, and I learned this in the beginning because I was lazy. Not lazy, but whatever. You know, I did the big 3. I didn't even do the big 3 up front. I just did the 0 gauge from the front to the back. And I didn't change my ground. I had 2 4 gauge Walmart grounds in the back, thinking that, yeah, that's fine. That'll be good enough. That's plenty. And I noticed a slight difference when I changed that power wire, but it wasn't night and day. Until I changed that ground in the back to regular 0 gauge wire, ooh, I could tell. Because that's just how it works. You know, it needs to be a complete circuit. That's what electricity is. It's a circuit or it's a short circuit. And you got to have everything equal. Otherwise, you are you're bottlenecking yourself. And that's exactly what you would do if you would run 1 0 gauge. But then That's if the lengths are exactly the same. So, say if you got those 2 runs because you got more than 400 amps of current up front being, you know, from your alts. If you got 1 alt, don't even worry about 2 runs. If you want to do 2 runs, run a ground up front. Equal out some things. Give a ground to go somewhere else if it needs to. Unless you have 2 alternators and you're charging over 400 amps of current and you want a little bit better efficiency out of your wire, out of your amp, to your rear of the car, more charging current, then you can run 2 or more. And that's why you see people do it. But if it's a ground coming from the battery or the amplifier, and that amplifier only has 1 input, and that's all it really needs. Do you need a second ground back there? No, because you're only doing so much current. The main reason why you're having those 2 positive runs going back that are 0 gauge is to get more current flow. And that's why we upgrade our size. Well, when you can't upgrade no more, you buy more. So, do you need that second ground back there? Unless it's going to the front of the car, just like those 2 powers are, then yes, if it's going to the front of the car, run 2 grounds to the front of the car as well. You want things equal. But if it's a short distance, you can put a lot more current than 300, 300 amps to a 0 gauge wire. It's only going a couple feet. It's good for almost twice that, if not more, within reason. There's always limitations on everything. But again, man, I don't think you need to. Depends what size amp you have. Let me know. And honestly, a lot of people ground to the battery, and battery's going to do a lot. And then you don't want to shortchange yourself. It's not that hard just throwing an extra wire in. But in my opinion, you'll be fine. I literally have 1 aught wire running front to back in the Pilot, but I only have a stock alt, so I don't even need 1 aught. I really don't. But I do, because down the road, if I upgrade the alternator. Now, going from the batteries in the back, and then I have a little distributor in the back, and in going to the amps that are only a foot long, I have 4 gauge, because it's only a foot long. 4 gauge and a foot long can carry like 300 amps of current each one. I'm fine. I'm running only 300 amps of current each one, max, and that's if you're running at 1 ohm. No impedance. You're doing a test bench, then you're getting that current. Otherwise, you're not. There's a lot of factors with it. There really are. Let me keep scrolling down here, guys. I appreciate you tuning in. I love questions like that. I really do. Art, I don't think I have you blocked, man. I don't think I do. Let me scroll down here a little bit more. Appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, you guys are gonna really want to watch the next Kicking It with Andy. I am winking hardcore here. Okay? Tune in, please. Please. Scrolling. Let me know how my audio's been, by the way. Because like I said, I was messing with the input and output buffering. If you heard any popping with my voice, or whenever I was switching over here, showing you guys like the websites and stuff, let me know if you heard any popping. That's what I was trying to eliminate today. Techie stuff. Mike Graham, thank you for tuning in. What brand of wire do you recommend? Is the Big 3 really worth it? Absolutely, man. Takes power to make power. Wire, I run kicker wire because I love it and it's flexible. It's super expensive, but that's the thing. They just supply it there for you so you can get it. Obviously, you can get cheaper wire elsewhere that's pretty darn close. I know NVX is a very close comparison. I run kicker here, man, all day, all night. But with wire, there's a little bit more, less room for, there's less error, just because it's wire. It's simple. But you want to look at, wire, thread count, for flexibility. If flexibility isn't your main issue, run some welding wire. If you don't mind, gaining a little bit of muscle from making a 90-degree bend on a welding wire connection, welding wire bend into the car, run that, man. Now, with welding wire, there's a smaller rubber, not heat sink, grommet, not even grommet, just insulator. It's thinner. So if you know, you might have it rub up against something, you know, maybe you want something that's got a thicker insulator, but then there's companies where they put big insulators around their wire and it's like 4 gauge. If the price is too good to be true, don't buy it. CCA versus OFC, both of them work. Just know when you run CCA, to run the same amount of current through that same length, you're going to need a bigger aught or 2 of them to compete. And then, is it cheaper than OFC? Can be. Can be. Is it cheaper than welding wire? No. So that's why people go with welding wire. Is it cheaper than running, like, you know, 1/0 CCA versus 4 gauge OFC? Or 2 CCA runs and 1 OFC run? Depending who you buy it from, the CCA still might be cheaper, but then you have to make sure that you have space to run 2 runs or bigger wire with CCA. Makes sense to just go with the OFC, pay a little bit more, and you don't have to worry about it. With this stuff, you don't want to have to go back into your car and pull. I hate running wire through the firewall, making good grounds, because that is the foundation of your build. I had a guy come over today, literally, after he called me about, hey, what amp, you got any amps for sale? Not now, but maybe. And I'm a hoarder. It's kind of hard. But no, I don't. But you can go to Walmart, grab Power Acoustic. They were at Walmart. It was like I knew or something, and they picked that up. And then they came over to my house, and they were like, hey, you know, like, we got to do this. I'm like, wait, the ground's not done? I ain't doing it. Nope. If it's just, I got to connect some wires, no problem. You got the power wire ran to the firewall, thank God. Because it takes time to do those things, and you got to do them right. And just with power wire and big 3s, yes, it's gonna be worth it because it's your foundation, man. And the big 3 is, honestly, the big 3, we'll call it the charge wire. Your main charge wire, because your big 3 is your charge wire, your run going back, and your 0 gauge in the back, or your 0 gauge up front, should I say, your 0 gauge up front, well, and back, so really big 4. Up front, big 5. They're big everything, you know, just make it big. But it makes it where, I'm losing track of thought here, it makes it where you can have more current. And if your alternator is only 100 amps and it's stock, you will see a slight difference. Just because you're not bottlenecking, if there is any bottlenecking. If there's no bottlenecking, you won't see a difference. Now, high output alternator, yes, you can actually probably hurt an alternator or melt some wire if you have the stock charging wire hooked up to a high output alternator, and things can just go bad, or you're just going to bottleneck your system and you're going to be like, this alt sucks. And so yeah, it's worth it. You know, if you got like 1,000 RMS, don't waste your time. I mean, even on my Pilot that's doing a 50.4, yes, I got lithium, I got AGM, I got, you know, big wire everywhere, but the charge wire, got a stock alt. It's not really needed. All right. Let me keep scrolling down here. Man, we had like 40 people here this entire night. I appreciate you guys. Their wire may be okay, but nothing NVX is top. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going, if you want to know a lot about power wire, talk to Vega, look at his videos. He's got a bunch of stuff where it's just all 0 gauge comparisons. And OFC, CCA, weight, you know, just a bunch of ways to compare wire, you know. And I went with welding wire. I eventually pulled that crap out just because I could. I was more financially stable to put a system that was better, should I say the foundation better in my car. Now, is the welding wire bad? No, it just, it didn't match. Red wire that just, no. I'm throwing some kicker wire in there, man. Why? You're never going to see it. You go look at my build, you see no wire. There is no wire to be seen. But it's all kicker. A little bit of down for sound. A little bit. Let me see if I missed anything else. Chasing down the legendary 16 volts. Oh, don't tell me that's going to be another thing. Damn that computer though. Hey, it's working. I mean, let me know if it's clipping. I don't know. It's just with the Elgato, it does a lot. There's like noise suppression going on built in with added DSTs, I don't know what they're called. It's a thing. Come on, man. Lots going on. I can't even talk. It's about that time, guys. All right, cool. I think I caught up. A lot of side jack going on. I'm just happy that we got to talk about a lot of things. We got to talk about the gold letter, which I don't even have it on here anymore. Nope, that's not it. I wonder if the gold letter has, and if I missed it, let me just check. See if, yeah, see, there's no TS parameter right there. It would say that. So I bet eventually it will. And I don't know. We'll see Monday. Sure, Cornette will let you know too. He's getting his. And I'll look in the manual and I'll see if they list it. If they do, I'll post it on my story on YouTube here, and you guys will see it. I mean, we're going to be talking about these things for a long time, and, you know, L7X is right around the corner, man. It's right around the corner. Baba, thank you for the $20 super chat. Something wrong with the math. Number of likes do not currently match the amount of viewers. Hit the like, people. I know, you guys got to hit the like. If we can hit at least 35 tonight, that would be great. And that's what, 80-90%. That's good. You know, I get, you know, there's some people lurking. They're just watching. They're like, look at this kicker guy. What's he talking about this week? But no, I appreciate you guys. And Baba, thank you so much for letting the guys know. And thank you, Deviant. $2 super chat for Baba. Thank you, bro. Andy, do a live unboxing, please. Man, you know, we'll see. I want to do an actual video on it. And that was the thing that I was thinking of tonight. I'm like, man, I want to do a video on it because they do good. It gets more people to my channel, and it just, you know, it's not about the money. It's not. I don't make much money on my videos. It just brings in more subscribers, more people to see this show. And so I wanted to do that, but I'm like, well, if I get them tonight, I'm going to open them and I'm just going to have them sitting here. And that didn't happen. So now I'm going to do a video. I'm not going to do an unboxing because, to be honest, unboxings are boring. But I'm going to pull out the, you know, go over it. You know, I got fancy box cutter knife from Cornette, and I use it all the time. But no one's going to see it because when I watch unboxings, I'm like, okay, let's just see the product. And when you're a content creator, you kind of get to that point where it's like, just show them what they want to see. Don't keep it so short, but show them what they want to see. That's what's cool about the live streams, because it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that where I can kind of slow down, get more into detail, be more personalized with you guys, but it's not that shortcut, gotta be for the analytics of YouTube, keep your attention span longer than TikToks, you know, it's just, so the whole unboxing thing, I'll get you guys some stuff, you know, and of course, we'll throw it live, man. Appreciate you guys. Patreon only unboxing. I don't know, man. The unboxing is so 2012. I'm telling you guys. All right. Well, I love you guys. Shoot. I will see you Tuesday. Tuesday is going to be an awesome show for Kicker. It is their 100th episode. And if it wasn't for them dialing back, they would have passed me up. And make sure you guys tune into that. It's going to be great. And some cool prizes. They're already talking about theirs. I ain't talking about mine. So either way, thank you guys for watching. And if you're cool enough, I'll see you at the caboose. Love you guys. Be easy. See ya on the next one. What's going on, everyone? Going live for the first time on my channel. Just finished up the Rolling Thunder podcast. What's up, Bobby B? What's going on? Andy, why Kicker? Well, man, Kicker, why Kicker? That's a good question. Hit that like button. Yeah. Thanks, 25, bro.
Let's try it out. One more time.
Thank you, Bubba. Thank you, Fry. Of course, the after party is always lit. Make sure you join. Cornut came in at the caboose. I had fun. This was just going to be a little test, but hey, we'll definitely do this more often. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching. I really wish you guys could see me when these intros and outros are going, because I'm just kind of I'm just going. I'm just going, you know, and maybe a rebase version I could do this. I do know how to rebase, barely. I'll see what I can do. I gotta download Fruity Loops again on my computer. Thank you, Cornut, with a 14.4 volt super chat. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you guys killing it. And, oh man, they're just dropping in now. Deviant, Grand, Pappies, Unite, $2, Baba, got distracted. Wait a minute, I'm jumping on the caboose, and then Cornut. Cornut's gonna steal it. He's gonna steal it. He always throws in that $2 one. But you know what? I think. Wait a minute. Nope. This one's an old one. That one's an old one. I'm winning the caboose tonight. Yep, that's an old. There it is, Mike DePoli. No, he says, I'm taking it. I thought it popped up and I wasn't sure. I love you guys. I will see you Tuesday. Stay living loud. Oh, SJC stole it. What?